So, I'm a little bit late. I know. You can thank Amazon for that. But we are here looking at the Nintendo Switch Scarlet and Violet Edition, the OLED, and determining whether or not it is worth getting. So starting out on the box, we can already get a look at what the dock for this looks like, as well as the Joy-Cons themselves. And if we rotate over to the back side, you get a little bit more of a detailed look at the Switch itself, with all the Scarlet and Violet stickers all over it, as well as a look at the back side of these Joy-Cons. But without further ado, let's go ahead and open it up and look at it. So first thing that you get coming out of the box is the Switch itself, and you can kind of look at the fact that it has the longer stand than a normal Switch, how it can be more adjusted than typical. Nice looking. Has the nice screen and such. Then, of course, there are also the two Joy-Cons that come with it, as is customary for the Switch. The Scarlet and Violet Joy-Cons that are kind of based on the two academies for the game. You can kind of see the little grape and orange designs on them, as well as on the back you can see the different starter stickers. Going ahead and attaching these on. Again, as we saw earlier on the box, you can see everything in the back looking really nice. They have just different, mainly the starters, but also one thing that's interesting, they have Hatena as a sticker on the back here. There's Go-Goat. And those are the only two non-starters that I'm seeing right now. So I don't know if that means anything, but I think that's kind of interesting. Now, the second piece that makes this a unique Switch is the dock itself. You can see the Scarlet and Violet Legendaries design on here, Koraidon and Miraidon. It's a very nice looking base overall. I think this is a very well designed. And then on the back, it has a little Pokeball here, and then a white look. And then you just pull, I feel like that's not supposed to happen. Well, it goes back in, so I mean, okay, I guess that does just come off to where you can plug in your adapters and such. The side, it all looks very nice and very clean, and it feels like it's really made of good quality materials. And this kind of allows for a nice place for the cables to be flowing out nicely. Ultimately, I think this is a very beautiful dock, and I really think it looks nice. And I'm sorry if my voice at all sounds off in this video. I am recovering from flu, so yeah, it's been kicking my butt for the last couple of days. Moving on with the items here, we have the Joy-Con protector things. They are just white, I guess. One has a purple band, the other has the orange band, because orange goes with orange, and then the purple goes with the purple. I don't know if anyone really cares about these, but they're here too, I guess. The controller, the Joy-Con connector, is no different from a regular default, so there's nothing special there, as well as all the other cables and stuff that are in here. Now, what makes an OLED? The OLED has multiple features that are supposed to make it better than a normal Switch. It has better resolution on handheld, if I am correct. It has the wider screen, which if we compare it to my current Switch, you can kind of see that it has a wider screen all around, because the screen on this goes all the way across rather than just hitting these edges like it does on a normal Switch. See, as you can see there, hits the entire edge. And this wants me to go through the setup process, but I'm not going to go through that in this video, as that is not what this is for. It also has the wider stand that is also more adjustable, as we talked about earlier. That makes it for a better handheld experience. And there will also be a list of other features on screen that explain what else an OLED offers over a regular Switch. Now, for the big question, should you buy this thing? Well, it ultimately depends on one, do you already have a Switch? If you already have a good Switch that is working well and does not have a lot of problems with it, or it's a newer gen model, I would say you don't need this, because ultimately the OLED does not have a whole lot of upgrades over a normal Switch, so there's not a whole lot of reasons to pick this over any other Switch if yours is working perfectly fine as it is. Also, another thing to keep in mind, the OLED, it has more optimizations for handheld than it does in regular docked play. So if you are using your Switch more in docked mode, that means that you are not going to notice the difference as much as if you are a more handheld user. Now, I'm not saying it's all bad. If you don't have a Switch, this is definitely a good option to choose if you are a fan of Pokemon. It has the nice design on the base, as well as the Joy-Cons and the back of the Switch itself, that makes it for a very unique choice for Switch. Another reason that you might want to buy this, which was the reason I ended up getting this Switch, was my Switch is very old, meaning that it has been having problems. Mine has problems where my Joy-Cons don't work properly when I try and connect in handheld. Honestly, half the reason that I ended up getting this Switch here is because this one doesn't like to play handheld mode. These Joy-Cons tend to not work properly when connected, and it doesn't matter if I get new Joy-Cons or not, it's a problem with the internal Switch. I don't know if other people have this problem, but I've had my Switch basically since the Switch originally came out, so I don't know if it's a problem of the older makes or if it's just something I did to it. But either way, that's kind of why I got it, and that's why I think it's worth it for me. So overall, the main thing I'd look at is, the first and foremost, do you have a Switch? Because if you already have a Switch that works well, this isn't going to change a whole lot. Unless you have disposable income, then I guess do whatever you want. I mean, don't let me stop you. But also, keep in mind that this is not the biggest upgrade as you are going to be able to get in terms of graphical differences, because ultimately, it is still Nintendo, it is still a Switch. And that kind of wraps up my thoughts on whether you should buy this Switch or not. Once again, this is all just my opinion. If you want to get the Switch, obviously I'm not telling you you can't if you don't meet my criteria or whatever, but it's just my opinion. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.